What's going on, all you wild game enthusiasts? It's your two favorite hunters here. I'm Logan Myers. It's my good mate over there,
Henry Hill, and we are back today to talk about the Netflix juggernaut of a show, the show that everybody is talking about right now. It's number one in over 90 countries, the biggest Netflix show of all time. We're going to be talking about Squid Game.
and this is a show that people have been talking about. As you're saying, it's a global phenomenon right now. Everybody's talking about it on social media. If you're not on social media and didn't see this, yeah, you're missing out, because I didn't really know what to expect for the show. But everybody's talking about it. I went in fresh eyes and had an absolute blast with the show. Right from the get-go, the first episode, it really leaves you on the edge of your seat and wondering what the fuck's going to happen next. But the setup is 456 entrants into this game, this like mysterious game that only certain people are invited to. And most of them are down on their luck, a lot of financial problems, so they're brought into this brutal game. 6 games they have to survive. And the first episode is them playing red light, green light, which I play with my 6-year-old, but not this brutal. But basically, they're all in tracksuits, and the game starts, and people start dying. And the most brutal way, and the best way I can describe the show without, not spoiling anything, I would say Hunger Games meets like a Quentin Tarantino flick in terms of violence. I thought it reminded me much like Kill Bill.
I had the same kind of vibe there. Immediately when they start playing the game, you kind of figure it's going to go south somewhere, because all the people, the guards there that are they're dressed in these pink track suits, and they have these helmets on, each with like a different shape, like a circle, triangle. They're all a bunch of guards there, and they all have guns. So you're wondering what's going to happen. And in the picture behind you, that's actually the first game where they're playing red light, green light. You have that creepy, that creepy doll, large porcelain doll standing up there, and like her head is on a swivel, so it'll turn around. And when it turns around, it says green light, and then it'll say red light. And if any contestant moves after she says red light, like even twitches or has any sort of movement, the eyes of that doll will recognize it. And it has these guns that come out and just start shooting everybody that is moving after saying red light. So it's really brutal. You see people getting their heads blown off, just bodies piling up and stacking up. And you see the horror on everybody's faces during that first game, because nobody had any idea that if you lose the game, you're going to also lose your life.
Yeah. And it like Meat saw that at the same time, like, do you want to play a game? And it's like them fighting for survival. And these are hard ass games and really on the edge of your seat, especially like games 3, 4, and on the rest of the season. They're really top notch, really gory. And if you mess up, you're definitely dead in the most brutal kind of way. Throughout this season, the course of the season, we're introduced to a lot of characters in the show, the main group of people, an older man, a younger guy, all different backstories, a lot of problems in their lives. They're really, down on their luck outside in the real world. And they find out they're brought into this world to make a difference, to do something good with their lives and earn a lot of money. And the stakes are really high in the show. And as you get to dive into more of these characters, you see them getting picked off one by one. A lot of characters that you love to hate in this show, a female being one. And there's this other guy with a long slick back hair. He's kind of an asshole, but you love to hate him. And a lot of great characters.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the show, we're following the main character, Sung Gi-eun. He's this guy that he's kind of a scumbag. He's down on his luck. He still lives at home. He looks to be in his 30s. I don't know what he's supposed to be on the show exactly, but he steals money from his mom. He takes her ATM card to go get money, and he goes to the racetrack for the horse races and gambles all this money. He has all these loan sharks coming after him because he owes all this money to him, because he's constantly gambling and always hoping to hit it big. And we also learn that he has a daughter and a wife that he used to have. And him and the wife are now separated, and the wife has the daughter and takes care of the daughter. So he only gets to see her every so often. So in the beginning, they have this meeting, and he learns that the wife is going to move the daughter out of the country. The man that she is seeing now has gotten this job in the United States, so they're going to take the whole family, and his ex-wife's going to take the daughter away from him. So he promises the daughter that he's going to be there more, and that he's going to come up with a bunch of money, and he's going to change their life so they can spend more time together. And he really wants to be a good father to her now after all these bad things that are happening to him in his life. He can't get his shit together. And then one day he is by the train station, and he gets approached by this man who invites him to play this little game. They play this game on the subway, and it leads to him getting this little business card. It has these shapes on it, like a triangle, square, circle, and it's got a number on the back to call. The man also, says something about these games and there being a huge monetary prize. So of course, this gets him interested, and it leads him and all these other people getting brought to this mysterious island to play these mysterious games, and a huge jackpot where there's a big piggy bank, up top where the contestants are, in this big like warehouse looking place on this mysterious island in South Korea. And there's a big piggy bank, and every time after every round and people are eliminated, the money falls down a chute, and it keeps getting larger. The jackpot keeps getting larger, millions and millions of dollars at stake. And that is the main synopsis of the plot here.
Yeah, when they're having that much money involved, people are going to do whatever it takes to win and get that money and get out of debt and live a stress-free life. But they're going through a lot of stressful situations, not really sure who to trust within all this group of people that survive. A lot of different characters, but there's some you love and some you really hate in this. And let's talk about the voiceover, the American voiceover. And the captions and the subtitles not lining up. It was a little annoying at times, but you kind of get the point, because they're saying one thing, but the subtitles are saying something completely different. Right. But you get the point, and some of the voice work was really fucking annoying in this.
Yeah, the main lady, or the lady that's kind of crazy. Yeah, that was the worst voice. I thought she's just so over the top. I really wish I want to go there. Yes,
I was waiting for that guy to deck her. They kind of went out on top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the first thing you'll notice. The voices are really funny, but after a while, you kind of get used to it and you accept it for what it is. We're not going to get the full version. We're not going to get the full view of the context and their language, the nuances of their language, because not all their words are going to translate over to English. So it's done the best it can. I eventually just shut off the subtitles and went by the shitty English dub voices. Unfortunately, I'm sure I missed a bunch, but it's enough to get the point, and about as good as you're going to get without, actually knowing the Korean language.
Yeah, you get the whole gist and the story just by the visuals. I mean, the cinematography, the set design, everything looked beautiful. Lots of bright, vibrant colors inside this facility, and all the stairs and the bright pink outfits that these like kind of soldiers, security at this facility wear. They don't really talk. One of the main guy, the main leader of this group, he kind of sounds like Kylo Ren or Darth Vader.
Yeah. And he looks like Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is our introduction in Squid Games. This is the way into the MCU right here. But he was a really good bad guy, really good villain. And then it also brings up this like subplot with this cop looking for his brother, finds out the brother ends up in this island playing this game, and the cop finds his way, tracks it down to show up on this island looking for his brother. And there's a really cool twist with that I didn't expect.
Very good twists and turns are on the way. By the final episode, you get a huge twist and you find out more answers that you're looking for throughout the episodes. But just a really great job by this cast. I've never seen any of these actors before. Nobody really has. But they really do a great job of selling it and making themselves feel like they're actually really doing this. This feels like a kind of more of a reality show than anything. You kind of buy into everything that they're selling you here with these characters. You feel really bad. You understand that the creator here he was working on this script for over a decade when actually he was living with his mom and grandmother, and he was writing this on a laptop, 10 years ago, a decade before this show aired. And actually, a lot of this stuff is pulled from his actual life. And at one time when he was writing the script, he needed money. So he ended up selling his laptop for like $670. He needed the money so bad. So he had to sell the laptop that he actually wrote the script for the show. And so that was a pretty cool little fact there. This show has a lot to do with the class struggles in South Korea, and has a lot to do with just the culture there. A lot of people that are struggling to make ends meet. And this Squid Game is really a story of underdogs. You're rooting for these underdogs to rise up in these games and somehow find a way to survive into the end. And you're really rooting for everybody. The only bad thing is, only one is going to exit these games. And like you mentioned before, after every round, the stakes keep getting higher until the end, and it just keeps getting bloodier and crazier all the way to the end. And you really feel for these characters, especially the main character Sung Gi-eun. By the end of the episode run, it shows like how much trauma he's been through going through these games, how many times he's been double crossed by people he thought were his friends during the show. And there's just a lot of sympathetic characters here. The main girl, she does a really great job. And the old man, especially, I thought he was really phenomenal on the show. Just everybody did a really great job in this show. And this one really hit home for me. This is a great production, and I'm so glad Netflix released this. And I'm so glad I tuned in. A lot of the times when you tune into Netflix and you see these shows trending or in the top, a lot of the time it's just people's bad decisions watching something that they see, oh, it's trending here, let's watch this shitty show. And then you look into it and you read the reviews of the show and it's supposed to be terrible. But you know how people are, they see what's in the top 10 and they're like, oh, let's watch this. But this one was actually a #1 show that deserves being watched. And I'm glad that I heard about it, and I'm glad that I gave it a shot, because this one was very surprising to me, and one that I hope that we get to see a second season on.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched the pilot and recommended it to you guys on the Cinephellas podcast. Blown away by the first episode, and I was hooked. Ended up binging it, within a week. It's 9 episodes. Really well-crafted character. I'm glad this is finally seeing the light of day and being such a huge global phenomenon right now, #1 in all these different countries, like 90 countries, shedding some light on Korea and a lot of issues they're having there. There's a lot of messages here and a lot of things going on, especially, in Korea with having to do with the different classes and money, financial crisis. Things are, coming across here in America and really across the globe. A lot of really, big issues that they're diving into this, and rich people putting, the lower class people hurting for money into this sort of, messed up game, and where they have to survive. If they win and kill all these people, they can win, a bunch of money, $1 billion, whatever it is. So it's a really interesting take on, the financial crisis. A lot of things we're coming across in America and other countries as well. Really cool seeing a lot of these Korean actors and actresses that I'm not familiar with. The main, 2 characters are really fantastic in this. I love the showrunner, the guy that wrote this series. I'm glad we're finally getting this, and they really kind of opened it up for maybe more Squid Game, and I'm really down for that. I want to see what happens in the next chapter.
Absolutely deserves to see more. It was crafted so well done. Everything about it, just the human experience from these characters. Us being Americans, we can't really empathize with them. We don't really know what's going on the ground there. We don't live in their culture, but it's easy just to, empathize as a human, just to see the struggles that are going on there. A lot of those translate over here. So really it's a human story, and you get attached to the characters, and you're with them during those crazy games. And once you get over the bad dub, the voices, it's really an easy watch, and you're going to be hooked, and you're going to want to binge this. I binged this in less than a week, so it's not going to take you long to get through this. Once you get through that first episode, you're going to want to keep going. And I too liked how it ended, and set it up for more. And hopefully the creator will get around to writing a sequel series. We can definitely go in a lot of different places with this. We can see prequels. We can see how this whole game came together. We can see it from a lot of different perspectives, or we can follow the main character, from what happened in the very last shot there. So there's a lot of places this story can go. Overall, just very impressed with the show. Glad I tuned in. Loved it. Love the whole experience. Squid Game's a winner for me. I'm going to give Squid Game a solid 4.5 out of 5 squid hair pieces.
Yeah, I was really blown away by the show as well. Hwang Dong-hyuk, the creator of the show, I'm glad we finally got to see this. He put so much hard work into this, getting this made over 10 years, and finally seeing the light of day on Netflix and just blowing up. So it shows all the hard work and dedication and the passion really paid off for them, and really created a unique and beautiful and top-notch show from start to finish. I was hooked on it from the beginning and never let me go. Fell in love with these characters and seeing what happens to them, and sets up some really brutal and gory kill scenes. A lot of nods to other films and directors that we were talking about earlier, but just all around a great show, a really bloody good time, and something you should definitely check out during the Halloween season for 31 Days of Horror. So I'm giving Squid Game, that's streaming on Netflix right now, a 4.5 out of 5 squid hair pieces.
So let us know if you guys watched Squid Game. What did you guys think of this show? Did you guys love it as much as we did? Please don't forget to click subscribe on our YouTube page here. Don't forget to follow along with us on our social media pages. Visit our website, Cinephellas.com, and stay tuned for lots of great content in the month of October. We have our 31 Days of Horror going on, and we have plenty more videos for your guys' viewing pleasure. We've been having a great time reviewing these titles here in October. This is our favorite month of the year. So we hope that you guys are loving our videos, and we will be back for more very soon. Are you ready to play a game, Logan?
Yeah, let's play. So this is those two wild game contestants signing out until the next review for 31 Days of Horror.
Cheers!